Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. If you watched my last video, you would have seen me finish the last 4 spreads of this sketchbook, and now we're going to go through it. Before I start, this is a Royal Talons art creation sketchbook. It's, I think, 8.1 by 5.5 inches, so an A5, is that right? I've really enjoyed working in this size. I used to work exclusively in spiral bound, but this really works better for graphite and colored pencil. I'd recommend it. I think that it takes everything except marker pretty well. Marker bleeds through pretty easily, but it takes wet media fairly well. If you've been subscribed for a long time, you'll know that my last finished sketchbook tour was in 2020. And I don't really have much to explain why I didn't draw, other than just I didn't want to. I didn't have the desire. I got married, I finished school, I finished my associate's degree, and this sketchbook even, I started it in March of 2023, but I finished 2/3 of it from June of this year and I finished it on September 6th. So here's all of the pages that I finished, over 100 from June. My next sketchbook I will definitely finish faster, and I don't feel as much improvement from this sketchbook as I did from my 2020, and obviously that's because of a lack of consistency. And so from August onwards, I've seen a lot of consistency, and I've seen a lot of improvement in August and September only. And I really just want to take you through this sketchbook and kind of show you me learning to love art again. I think that that's really influential for my further art journey. And thank you for watching, and if you skip through this, that's okay. I'll put chapters in the description and you can go straight to the sketchbook tour. You'll see here that I had a bit of a false start, so I've written December 2023, and I finished this on the 6th. I never do this page because I never want to like rip the pages apart. It's always a little strange. Here we've got my hands and my husband's hands. This one I'm really proud of, but the other ones, they look a little bit puffy. And then this is a Care Bear that I think I told Casado that I would love to have. Like, I love how Care Bear collections look, but I wouldn't want to have them because I don't want like junk in my house. But then he got me this one Wish Bear for Mother's Day, and so whatever. This is little me, and then here I drew me as a baby. We picked out these beads and made some phone charms, and since they have broken and they've been replaced by our little gachapon reptile men. And then here I hated this baby Jesus, so I covered him up. Here we've got some notes, and then I drew Suki and Casado holding Suki over it. And then there are a lot of notes, so with some Crayola markers I was about to throw out, I went through and I drew some quick doodles of people I knew, some tigers. I really like this lion, how she stretches. Here's a little self-portrait. Doesn't look much like me, but then here I did some studies of statues, and this is really when I started to practice statues. We've got Suki in the bathtub with some plants. This is when Tears of the Kingdom was about to come out, or it had just come out, and here I was drawing Wolf Link, and then a Tears of the Kingdom Wolf Link, some Pura. I think I finished that digitally. I'll put a picture up if I can find it. And then here, I was really inspired by Jammer Lammy's Rarity Alien, which I really liked, and I was enjoying this purple pencil. Here we see the new redesign of Sume and some of the lilies from Alice in Wonderland. And here I was playing with Sume a little bit more. I really don't like this page. I especially hate this little like thing 1, thing 2 Sume. I think that's so ugly. Here's some more. I like these doodles. I finished this one digitally. Oh, and then here I've got a really shapely wren that I covered up with some black void cats, just for my sister. Not very artistic nudity in my opinion. Here we have Winnie. I was just deciding kind of what to do with her face shape, and I figure it out here. And these are some more of the Crayola markers I was going to throw out. You see, I was working in here, and then I went back later, and I did these at about the same time because these pages were super empty otherwise. And I like to do that. I like to go back and fill pages where they're needed. Here, I think this is Andy Warhol. a painting by him in acrylic markers, and then here's one of the sea serpents by Gustav Klimt. Same with this one. This is a Klimt painting. Here's Woodruff. I love Woodruff. I just love drawing him in different poses. He's a Jellycat plushie, and he's pretty ugly. He looks cute in the picture when I ordered him, but he's not very cute otherwise. Here's my husband. And then some Pinterest cat girls. Oh, here we've got some more of my husband. These ones don't look very much like us. That looks like him. And then here's Rarity. These are some marker doodles from the Geyser Conservatory in Spokane. And then a Pinterest girl. Here's this cute little squirrel. And then one Sunday I drew a boot. And then the next Sunday I drew Cazado, and it looked like I was kicking him. So I think I wrote, "Take that." Here's Toulouse. In terms of these, I love this one. I think this one's so cute. These are all photos that I had taken of him. And here we put him in a little sweater. Here's my room. This is December 30th. So you'll see that I barely drew. I didn't really date my work. But all these marker doodles are from about the same time. They're from like late December. I did them all. So now we're back here, and this is my messy room as I was getting it ready to leave, to move back home. And here I wrote the new year. This is a photo of me, and then there's me and Casado. This painting, I started oil painting too, and our first project was to do a master copy. And so this is, I think, by Ella Kruglianska, and it's women with monster faces and bikinis. Just the perfect thing for me too. Here are some more church doodles. It's my brother's shoe. This doesn't really look like my mom, but this really looks like my dad. I did a great job. And some jelly cats. Here's some edgy art of Ren. This one's pretty, but then this one's very edgy. You've got the two genders here in my brain. Here's my little sister and some dogs. I use a lot of coal erase pencils, and they don't show up very well, unfortunately. The pinks especially. Here we've got some doodles by my little sister, and we were reading The New Prophecy together for a little bit. And then, unfortunately, Charlotte has this little character called Chungus, and she chungused me. Oh, how could she? Here's some, I really like these two pencil doodles, but they got a little lost in the marker in the back, which is too bad. And then here we've got, I think this was supposed to be, I don't remember, but in some gouache. It was just gouache and Posca. I was testing it out. Here we've got some more gouache flowers. If I can remember who these are inspired by, I'll put it up, but I don't remember. I know that this is pretty true to what I saw. And here is one of my favorite pages. I might use this as my thumbnail, but I just finished reading The Radium Girls. And so I drew this girl when her nightclub closed. Basically, these women would go to work at Radium Dial. They would paint clocks with radium so that they would glow. And they would wear their fanciest dresses so that when they went out to the nightclubs, they would glow. And they got horrible tumors and all died. Anyways, moving on to the next one. Here I redid this drawing. These are from Vogue. I really wanted to do a beautiful spread, but then I hated how these turned out, so I didn't finish it, unfortunately. And then here I reunited with a friend. We were going through some sketchbooks, and I realized, you know what, I don't think I've ever drawn a cat boy. So I drew this cat boy, some bunnies, and a bunny girl. I think these are both from Pinterest. And then these are really inspired. This is I think Dolce Vado on Instagram. This is a redrawing of something that she did. And then these are kind of my own interpretations going forward. But I really like her swirls and her especially detailed clothing. Here's my friend Izzy. And this is an older Toulouse. Here's some more of Charlotte's drawings. Oh, here I went, so starting in July, all of this, starting from these cats, that was drawn in June, and now here we are in July, and I did most of my drawing from June 2024 to September. But here we have Casado's feet when he was fishing, and here's the fish that we caught. And Charlotte coined him Charles. And then here's a girl in church, and this is a sideways Casado. Doesn't really look like him. He's very quick. But here's an art fight. This is starting in August, and finally I finished half of this sketchbook in August. So we've got some explorations of figure and the mannequin shown in Andrew Loomis's figure drawing for all it's worth. Then these are some Nazina from Brand New Animal. Just exploring some more figure drawing. I was really into it at that time. I like the volume in this one. And then this is all of me. I have been going to the gym and taking photos. Here's me and Suki. And then these, I don't like these. So we'd have fast and testimony meetings, and everybody gets up and bears their testimony, and they're pretty quick, but they stay still, and so I drew some of them, and you can kind of tell who talked for a longer amount of time, but I redid her, and I still don't like it. Next page. Posca nasturtiums, a statue, I added some wings, and then this is, I think, a picture from Pinterest. Here's an image that I redrew. At this time, I was feeling I think I draw tigers when I feel in touch with myself. And sometimes being in touch with myself means that I am sad, that I'm feeling a lot of emotions and I really have to be introspective. Here's a Weezer song, and I drew this image of me laying on Casado's lap, and he was out of town, so I wrote 10 days until Casado gets home. And then here are some little flower dragons, and these are also inspired by Jammer Lammy's. She drew some really cute flower dragons, and I wanted to do that. Here I had painted a snapdragon from our yard on a sticky note, and then I pasted it in. And then this is also inspired by another artist on Pinterest, but I really wanted to explore with some colored pencils. Oh, I think this might be crayon? I don't remember. And then colored pencils on top. Then here are some images of Casado. Now he's a little bit more handsome here than he is in real life. I think this is one of the first images I took of him back when he was really skinny. He wasn't eating very well before we met each other. And I wrote 8 days until you come home. So sad. And then here are some bird ladies. And I think I imagined all of these figures. I was really in touch with my figure drawing at this time, and I'm proud of all these. Here's Winnie. I had finally nailed Winnie's just general design, and so I decided to draw her as a human. And I decided on these tiny twists for her hairstyle. I really loved the way that I was drawing her face. I decided I would love it if she had some like demi-human characteristics, and she could shift in between like how human she appeared and how anthropomorphic she appeared, or animal form she appeared. I liked the idea that she would have no wings in her animal form, but that she would have a lot of wings in her human form if she so desired. And she's a mix between a lovebird, a peach-faced lovebird, and a gazelle and a lioness. And here, I'd beg you not to Google Translate these German musings. I have some fish, and then I have a very edgy, you can see coming back that I draw tigers when I'm feeling the most down. And here's another one of I am my own worst enemy. Very edgy. Very vent art. I think it's the closest that I come to vent art. And here I say, anyways, I move on to this bug lady. I was very inspired by Void Bug's fairies, and I think, it's the next couple pages. Here's a cougar that I drew in church, and I drew these little little baby cougars. Here are some copies of Void Bug's fairies, and I love these. I drew some more at the end of the sketchbook, and I like coming up with my own. I just love how the scales and the panels allow you to really experiment with shape and volume. It's nice. Here's a very messy page. There we go. We went to Seattle, and we saw a show at the Crocodile. We got to go to the Science Center, and I drew my brother, him kissing this dinosaur animatronic, and us at the Crocodile. It was a really fun trip. I enjoyed going. Here's some bug fairies, but she's an actual fairy. This comes from a dress that I was wearing, and I loved her big braids. I love this little chimera creature and the fluffy tail and the tiny head. I thought that was fun. I was really feeling dragonflies at the time. A little Posca paw. I really want to figure out how to draw paws realistically and not like through my furry roots. I don't know. Here we went to the farmer's market and we had the most delicious plum. There's this twig that looked like a bug hanging from a tree. It was like suspended on a piece of spider silk. Here I painted an olive tree at a lake that we were at. And then some, I don't know what the plant was, but it was cool. And then these are all very quick watercolor. They kept moving on this paddleboard, so I didn't get a good one. Here's some more edgy German stuff. I was really sad. This is a picture I took, and I was painting it in gouache. I think I'll probably redo it, because like I said, I just couldn't bear to finish it. And here we're starting in September. And I drew some little plush animal creatures. Here's an arowana. I had just gotten these Papermate Flare pens to do my morning pages with. And then I drew crabs. I love this page. I love this shrimp and this, I think, horned blue crab, crustaceans. This is a picture of a house in Park City. And then here is, I was starting to really draw a lot of flowers with gouache, or paint a lot of flowers with gouache, and this is a picture I took. And then the next page is these pictures that I did not take. I wanted to play around with shapes and gouache, and I saw this image on Pinterest. Here we've got some little quail. Now, unfortunately, I had seen some quail get run over. Like, I always stop for the birds, but the Ford Escalade bowled over them right next to me, and they did not stop. So I had to draw some quails to cope. Sorry for that story. You're plagued now, just like I was. Here we got some gouache little landscapes. This one is definitely my favorite. You can tell I really got into my rhythm, but I really want to play more with value with gouache in my next sketchbook. Here's some gouache fruits from Pinterest. Again, just trying to use a lot of different colors. And some bleeding hearts and flowers and this house. Here I'm exploring Winnie some more. I really enjoy drawing her. I think that she's the only OC that I really draw a whole lot. Here's some gestures. These ones were 30 seconds. I had lost my figure drawing spark at this time, so I was really trying to get it back. I need to practice a lot more. Then here's some poppies and another dragon. I really like how this turned out. I think it's very pretty. Here we have some different kinds of poppies, California. And then these spreads I finished in my sketchbook. I finished in my last video. So here we have a better look at my bouquet that was given to us. And here's Suki. And my cicada fairy that I used in my thumbnail. This is my own fairy this time, and I've gotten a little bit more used to my own little style of drawing fairies. They're not as elegant and pretty as void bugs, but I think I like them. Then here's my last page. I drew some Vespas. I really want my own Vespa, so we'll see if that ever ends up happening. And that's it. I always like to keep the covers really simple. And my next sketchbook, let me get it real quick. My next sketchbook, I clipped out part of the brochure from when we got these little guys and pasted it on here. And so now this one has its sticker already as well. And I'm super excited to draw on it some more. We've already gotten, I'm sure you've seen some of these in my last video, but we've gotten some good art in it already. And I'm excited to go over my goals for this in my next video. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.